The college football experience, Louisiana Ragin Cajuns 2025 season preview episode on a Sports Gambling Podcast Network is brought to you by Edge Boost. Yes, the bank account that is built for bettors. Sign up today at edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN and get a free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt. Claim your shirt for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets. Yes, get it your free $25 bet for the Belmont Stakes by going to nyrabets.com/SGPN25 and make sure you use that promo code SGPN25. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride.
This is Coach June Jones, and you're listening to SGPN. Let it ride.
Welcome to the college football experience. Louisiana Ragin Cajuns 2025 season preview episode. Hopefully you're tuning into all these where this will take us out of the 130s, I believe, right? This will be the last one in the 130s. Then we're into the 120s. All 136 teams will be covered. Solo episode talking about each and every team. We've been doing this shit for years, but it's 136 this year. So people are wondering, you got Delaware, Missouri State. It's got to be hard to get through it all, Dundee. No, please. We're football junkies. We're in. If you're wondering who the hell you're listening to, that's fair. My name is Colby Swinging Database Dan, a.k.a. Pick Dundee. That's not a pick. This is a pick.
He was raised in the land down under, where a man thinks on his feet, speaks with his fists, and lives by his wits.
When Dundee happened, he was a superstar.
I want this power. It's a matter of national security.
Sorry, I had condensation on my hands, so playing the soundboard with condensation from the beverage. A little tricky. You know what's not tricky? These Ragin Cajuns went to the Sunbelt Championship, and Michael Desormeaux was on the hot seat. He answered the calling. And who better than him? He's a Ragin Cajun himself. He says, I bleed. I'll take a bullet for this university. It's always great when you have the coach, a guy coaching at his alma mater. So I do really, really enjoy that. And in a way, I'm rooting for him, even though I have been a skeptic over the years of the hire, and I wish him the best, and I hope I'm wrong, but I was a skeptic, and he answered that calling last year as they went to the Sunbelt Championship, lost to Marshall, but got to the Sunbelt Championship. We're going to talk all about this season and probably a little bit about last season. But before we get to all that, I am joined by my co-host. Give it up for former staffer at Austin Peay with the Governors, the Gamecocks of South Carolina, and the Mountaineers of West Virginia, Ryan McIntyre, a.k.a. Moneyline Mac. How are you, brother?
Oh, I love the Ragin Cajuns, and I love the Sunbelt Fun Belt. This is going to be a good one. Let's go.
Mac tonight. Come on, make it Mac tonight.
Ragin Cajuns is top 5 best names in all of college football. Like, yes. I'm talking, that includes D2, FCS, D3, NAIA. Ragin Cajuns is a fire name. You can't duplicate that shit. All right. Fire. Great name. Glad it hasn't been fucked with over these years. But buddy, what'd you make of last season with Michael Desormeaux? He broke through. He finally got there at the couple 6th and 7th seasons. I think the jury was out. People were wondering, is this team, after Billy Napier left for Florida, they still were the top talented team based on recruiting rankings.
Yep.
Each and every year of those 3 years in Desormeaux's, tenure here as head coach. But 2 of those years, 6 and 7 seasons. Last year breaks through double-digit win season. Your thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, 6 and 7 back-to-back to start, and then they break through. They win at Wake as well. I know Wake was down for their standards, but still it's an ACC road win. And they get to the Sunbelt Championship. Now, the season did end shitty. I mean, they got drilled in the Sunbelt title, and then they got drilled in the bowl game against TCU. They were a super old team last year, but hey, got them over the hump. And I'm with you, man. Whenever you get a former player, those guys are easy to root for because they wore the uniform and they bleed Ragin Cajun uniform. So let's go.
Yeah, I mean they know everything. They've been at the local watering hole, passed out drunk when they were 18.
Yes.
You know, now and they've come full cycle. Like it's like their whole life goes through that. So through that town in a way. Shout out to Danny Dumbshit in the chat. Come be a part of the chat as well, folks. YouTube.com/thecollegeexperience. Look, I highly encourage you to watch the show because we have great slides and everything. But if you're listening, that's fine too. He says Charles Peanut Tillman is my favorite player of all time. He's one of my favorite players of all time as well. Actually, Louisiana has 2 of them. Brian Mitchell, the punt returner / kick returner for the Redskins for a long time, would be the other. But 2 of those guys were 2 of my favorite players of all time. Peanut Tillman is a fucking classic to me. Love the way he played the game. And I'm sure we'll have some we'll honor him in a bit. But yeah, jump in the chat. Everyone in there. Shout out to Lante. Previews are back. Dundee Mac Cheers. We got to get Lante on some shows, man. But you know what? He's in enemy territory, man. I hit him up. He's like, I'm working at NC State. I said, fuck. You know what I mean? I'm like, okay. You know, I'm like, damn, dude. What am I supposed to do? I don't even know if I responded to that. I was like, I can't, you know, I don't trust anything right now. Right. We go grab a bite to eat. I think you poisoned my fucking sandwich, bro. Right.
Week 1, baby. Week 1 after you beat their ass in that bowl game.
Yeah, exactly. Shout out to Phil and Jay in the chat. I'm sipping, dude. I need to go to the store. I was down to the Bear Essentials, but I mean, I do like this, but some would call me a savage. I am drinking Tanqueray 10 on the rocks.
Look at that thing.
Yeah, Tanqueray 10 there. Gin on the rocks. Like only an Irishman can do. But hey, we're here to talk Louisiana Ragin Cajun football. Louisiana, by the way, great drinking state. Great drinking state.
Hell yeah.
Let's dive into it. Let's go to those slides. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the College Football Experience is part of the Sports Gambling Podcast Network. And make sure you get all of our free picks and podcasts for the Stanley Cup, College Baseball World Series, NBA Finals, CFL, UFL, all on the SGPN app. Get it wherever you get your apps. It is free. And remember, as always, folks, to let it ride. All right. We're back. This guy, early cocktail run. Fucking amateur hour over here, right? Amateur hour over here.
There was a lot of preparation before the show.
All right. Look, let's dive into this thing, right? We got these Ragin Cajuns. That logo on the left there. God damn it. They do everything perfect. And I've been down there to Cajun Field. That place is awesome. But that logo, fire. That thing is fire. The name Ragin Cajuns is fire. The logo is fire. Please don't ever tinkle with it or tinker with it. Maybe it's amateur hour over here. But Michael Desormeaux, 6-7 his first 2 years. He's 23-18 overall, 10-4 breakthrough season last year. I did lock up Marshall in the Sunbelt Championship. I did lock up TCU in that New Mexico Bowl. So I apologize to Ragin Cajun fans, but there was cash to be made. I think here's the question I would ask him, Mac. Is he still on the hot seat?
I think so. I mean, if he goes like 6-7 and it's 3 out of 4 6-7s coming off the Napier era, yeah. I would think so. I don't think he'll get fired unless he has a losing record. If he throws out like a 5-7 or 4-8, then I think it might be time to go in a different direction. But if he gets back to a bowl, if he's around that 500 mark, then I think his seat is scorching in year 5.
Yeah, and yeah, I mean, it's still interesting. It's a kind of he got. I think Raging Cajun fans, they were able to be like, okay,
They want him to win.
relax. They do. He's a guy through and through, man. I want him to win in a way because I love the fact you're coaching at your alma mater. But the other side of my brain that gambles says, well, I don't know. Let's see. I still think it's a critical year for him. If it's 6 and 7 season, I don't know, especially with the turnover within the conference.
Yes.
Because I think if you're looking around the conference, you're looking for stability, and you could really only find one program, maybe two, if you're going to say Georgia Southern with Clay Helton, that actually has like a coaching tenure. Old Dominion. So you have 3, right? The rest, it's been turnover in the past couple of years. So it makes for an interesting year. So you don't want to get surpassed by one of those teams that has just been, hiring somebody. So interesting. I still think it's a hot seat year there. So last season they were 44th in scoring offense, 41st in passing offense for Tim Leager, I think it is. 41st in passing offense, 58th in rushing offense, 41st in overall offense. Decent numbers, if I may say so. What do you think?
Yeah, top tierish in the Sunbelt. I think they were 4th or 5th ranked offense. Yeah, I mean they were consistent and that's when they kind of got on a roll. I mean, put up 50 plus against Troy and Arkansas State. So they did a good job of beating up on bad defenses. But then obviously you can't ignore only scoring 3 in the championship game, then 3 again in the bowl game. So it's they finished poorly, but they did a good job of playing high level offense middle of the year last year.
Yeah, and I gotta go. I didn't listen. I didn't have the freedom with my son today to listen to last year's episode. I wanted to. I believe I took the over. I don't believe I bet it though. So I think I got it correct, but I didn't bet the over. Returning starters. The cupboard's a bit empty, man, when previewing this team. And by the way, I do believe I am wrong on the 4th name there. I think I forgot to delete that. I believe it's 3 starters back on the offensive side of the ball, led by Zylan Perry, Caden Jensen, and Jax Harrington. Elijah Canyon, I believe, is not on the team. He's on Liberty. So I fucked that up. My apologies. The portal, they don't use the portal much, man. It's interesting. They've been the best recruiting team in Louisiana, in the Sunbelt for most of the years, I feel like, between him and Napier. But they don't use the portal much, which you wonder in a critical year where you lose all your veterans from those big time, recruiting cycles. Interesting approach. I'll say that. I can respect it, but I also think if you're on the hot seat, you might want to use the portal a little bit more. Quarterback Walker Howard was a big time recruit by LSU originally. He was at Ole Miss. I still haven't seen him play really in college football, but the guy was a highly touted kid, and he's from Lafayette, Louisiana. Speaking of LSU, they brought in Shelton. Let me talk to Sampson from LSU. Tight end Trey Miller from Wayne State. I love Wayne State because the UFL, the Spring Football League, couldn't play a home playoff game because Wayne State was having their graduation at Ford Field. Trey Miller, though, comes in, and then Brock Chappell from Furman. I have my concerns. Inexperienced quarterback. I know he was highly touted. 3 guys back on the offensive side of the ball. I have concerns, man. How about you?
Yeah, I agree with you. It is funny. Like, I was looking at their depth chart a little bit today, and then I was like, I thought they lost a lot, but then it shows like a lot of returners, but it's guys that didn't play as much compared to guys that are bringing in experience, guys through the portal like Southern Miss in their league. So, yeah, I mean, it's going to come down to Walker Howard. Can he take the next step? I mean, he's from Ole Miss. You said he was highly recruited by LSU out of high school, so he's clearly talented. He's got good size. Can he put it together? Can the offense put him in position to succeed? It is the real thing where this comes down to, I think.
Yeah, and look, I'm glad he's in the state of Louisiana, and I'm old, man. You're younger than me. I'm old.
Slightly.
Because Walker Howard's dad.
Yeah.
I remember at LSU as quarterback, Jamie Howard.
Yes.
Shout out to Jamie Howard. Hope you're doing well in life. But damn. So you got some pedigree, some classic college football pedigree. Zylan Perry has 970 yards and 6 touchdowns throughout his career. So that is a nice guy to have back. Yeah. I feel like they always got backs, man. They've had backs for a minute. So, yeah, that's good. But I mean, there's concern because the O-line, a lot of inexperience on the O-line, a lot of, some inexperience with the wideouts. I think the wideouts will be fine. It's really the question mark of Walker Howard of, I don't care what level of football you're on. Like, it's tough first year starting, and you haven't started in a few years. It's not like going straight. We saw like Tulane's quarterback from San Luis Obispo who transferred to Duke, Darian Mensah. See, he was able to start his senior year of high school and come right in and start. You take a couple years off, it's a little tricky to me. The defense under Jim Salgado, don't give him shit. Scoring defense, 58th. Pass defense, 33rd. Rush defense, 77th. Total defense, 47th. Okay. What do you make of that? Like, they were a kind of like a 10-win, a Sunbelt championship caliber defense. If you told me top 50 defense, you're saying if you're a Louisiana fan, you're going to take that. You're going to take that all day. So, yeah, I think those are pretty good numbers. How about you? I mean, obviously the rush defense, you'd like to be a little bit better.
Yeah, and it was he got promoted last year to defensive coordinator. So this was a nice change for them, and I thought the defense definitely took a step forward from those first 2 years. So Salgado, I thought he did a good job with the defense. Kind of like the offense, we got some moving pieces here. But I mean, they do promote within a lot because they've recruited well at the high school level.
Yeah, they really have. The defense, man. 3 starters back on defense. They got, I think I read that. I was reading like a local publication or something that was covering the spring game. And correct me if I'm wrong, because I should have jotted this down, but I believe they said 10 of the top 12 tacklers are gone. It might have been 12 of the top 14 tacklers are gone.
Yeah.
I'm getting them confused in my head. But Jordan Lawson back on the defensive line, Kadarius Miller back at D tackle, linebacker Cameron Whitfield is back. They got some of their best players plucked away though, man. Like they like at decent schools too. So I have my concerns on the defensive side of the ball as well, Mac. How about you?
Yeah, it's funny. The offense and defense kind of mirror one of each other with returning production, where they ranked in the Sunbelt and nationally as well. It's really both sides of the ball. It's going to come down to the developmental of their program. And if they're able to get these guys that have waited their turn to take a step forward, they could win 8, 9, hell, maybe even 10 games. But if not, they'll be around that 500 like the first 2 years.
Yeah. I don't know, man. So my first thought is this, and we're going to go through the schedule in a second, but like when you lose that much production, you normally think you're going to take a pretty decent size step back. However, you look around the Sunbelt and you say,
it's pretty open.
JMU's still JMU's still really good, but they're year 2 of a brand new regime. Marshall, the champs, they got rid of their coach.
Yeah.
And they hired Gibby from NC State. So they're kind of I would assume, kind of a rebuild. Georgia State, Del McGee, year 2. kind of rebuild. Gerard Parker, Troy, year 2, kind of a rebuild. South Alabama, Major Applewhite, kind of a rebuild. I guess you got. I mean, it seems like there's a lot of that in the Sunbelt going on. ULM, Brian Vincent, year 2. So a lot of teams hitting refresh. App State hitting refresh. Maybe they can take advantage of all that turmoil going on within the conference with stability. I don't know. It's gonna be interesting. I want to talk more about the state of the program and stuff, and the stadium and stuff. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience, Ragin Cajun style, is brought to you by Edge Boost. Edge Boost is the first ever bank account that is built for bettors, ensuring all gambling transactions are approved. There's no usage fees, no minimums. You can earn cashback rewards, 100% approval rate for all betting deposits. Sign up today, edgeboost.bet with the promo code SGPN. And if you sign up this week, you'll get a free, absolutely free Refs Are Terrorists t-shirt, which I have mine in the other room. It's great. Go to sportsgamblingpodcast.com/refs to claim your free shirt today. We're also brought to you by Underdog Fantasy. Underdog's going long for the NBA Finals with their extender bonus. Hop in game 1, and the longer the series goes, the bigger the bonus gets. So sign up, and when you do, sign up with the promo code TCESGPN to claim your special pick plus first time deposit offer up to $1,000 in bonus credits there. UnderdogFantasy.com, promo code TCESGPN. We're also brought to you by Naira Bets. We got the Belmont Stakes going on at Saratoga, and you're going to want to bet the Belmont Stakes with Naira Bets. Sign up today using the promo code SGPN25 and get a $25 free bet plus a $200 deposit match bonus. So whether you're a seasoned bettor or just getting started, Naira Bets makes it easy to jump in the action, but specifically this action, because this is an exclusive offer. It's just for the Belmont Stakes, so you do not want to hesitate. Join now. Claim your free $25 Belmont bet today at NairaBets.com. Once again, NYRABets.com/SGPN25. All right. We are back, and we like to do state of the program, and normally that we start with the stadium, man. And by the way, I before we get to that, they did add some guys in the portal, but man, they went to obscure places. Jalen Kreider coming in from Youngstown State, a Penguin coming down to the Bayou. Trey Tomlinson from Richmond, the Spiders, and cornerback Curly Reed III. Anyone named Curly is a fucking great human being, as far as I'm concerned. Curly Reed III from Washington coming in. Don't double cross a dude named Curly. I'll tell you that. They didn't use the portal much, man. They're a strange team. Like we're previewing all these teams. I have notes and notes upon portal. Short of the service academies, which you can't really use the portal. This is one of the mysteries. Like you would think a team in Louisiana where there's a lot of homegrown talent. You touch Texas, you touch Mississippi. You know what I mean? You got Memphis, Tennessee, not far away, right? You would think they might use the portal a little more. Now, I'm not trying to shit on the coach and say he's doing a bad job not using the portal, because continuity might be the reason why he was in the Sunbelt Championship. But I got my questions, man. How about you?
Yeah, I'm a little surprised that they aren't tapping into kind of that second chance type feel where you get all the SEC, not rejects, but like guys that, hey, I'm one level behind. Let me just go down here, have a monster year, then I can pop back up to the SEC. But continuity does mean something. It works obviously for the academies. They do run the triple option, and that's a big reason why. But I mean, we'll see if they are able to maintain the success of last year. Maybe you'll start seeing some more teams go to this model, kind of the Clemson model in a way, is what they look like.
Yeah, the similarity was that Clemson was number 1 in the ACC for a long time in high school recruiting.
Yeah.
But even Clemson, you could say they kind of fell off a little bit.
Yep.
You could say that. Let's talk about. I mean, I see people in there talking about the stadium. I've been down. This is the original Swamp too. Spurrier started calling Florida the Swamp in the early '90s. This shit is and if you talk to a Ragin Cajun fan, they'll remind you of this shit. I've been down to this stadium. I think it's a very good stadium. I gave it 8 out of 10 ranking, 54 years young, Mac. What I love about the stadium is it actually is below the ground. A lot of stadiums will just build it straight from the ground. That's why I dig about this stadium, and it is a beauty, man. It is an absolute fucking beauty. And shout out to Ragin Cajun fans. The tailgate scene is good. We're going to talk about that in a second, but you see the grass over there on the back end zone there? That's what I'm talking about. It's like they found a hill and built into the fucking hill. It's pretty cool stuff, man. The original swamp, which makes sense of why it would be the swamp. Beautiful shot there. Yeah, I mean, it's just a nice stadium, man. This is the way college football should be, man. Louisiana does shit right with the exception of the Superdome. I think this is a fly fucking stadium, though, man. I really think it is. Look at that. I mean, I love that old school press box, and I think that's a recent addition, but they do it right. This is me at midfield. I took this fucking photo. I'm at midfield of this goddamn stadium right here. Yeah, I mean, it's just, what do you make of it? What do you give it? 1 to 10, Mac?
I give it a 9. I love the stadium. And it rocks. Look at the crowds that they get for these big games.
Dude, they got good fans, man. They got good fans, and they care about their football. I love this. They got a statue at the stadium. I took this photo too. Billy Blackjack Landry. They got love the fact they honor their history. They've been playing football for a long time. This is another one of my photos too, man. It's just a cool stadium, man. And this is another one of mine as well. Yeah, they were building this shit when I was there on the left. They were building that new press box. Shout out to Trey Carpenter. Says he loves this goddamn show. I appreciate you, Trey. We love you tuning in, man. They do college football right, man. Look at that shit. That's the new one. That's the new press box. That shit looks great. Look at those fans, man. Fuck yeah.
Dude, they care. Yeah. Like, dude, Louisiana's a great state. They fucking love football. They love drinking.
And that's why, though, the expanding the playoff is great, because getting that fan base. I know they lost the Sunbelt championship, but they've won a Sunbelt championship in the past 5 years.
Yeah. And
the more teams we added, just giving that fan base hope is a good thing. It's a good thing, man. And to me, I think it's they're a passionate fan base. Louisiana in general has good fans, but I think we're on the right path here, man. And if anyone's out close to Lafayette or planning to visit Lafayette, I highly encourage you to go to a game. It's a really fun time. So check that. Look at that, man. The tailgate scene, burgers.
They could tailgate, man. And
they fucking know. Dude, I was eating alligator there, man. I had no idea. I was pretty fucked up. I thought I was eating chicken. They're like, "Yeah, you're eating alligator right now." I was explaining how I'd never had alligator. They're like, "No, you've been eating it for like 10 minutes." I was like, "Oh shit." Shout out to that. Had no idea. Shout out to the good people, man. The good people of Lafayette. We do this thing, state of the program, and some say I might be being harsh here, Mac, but I do think it's a pivotal year. You didn't win a Sunbelt championship for the past 3 years, where you've had on paper. Now, I think recruiting. I'm one that thinks recruiting rankings is a bit overrated. But they were favored to win the Sunbelt, 3 years, or at least get to the championship game. They still haven't won a championship. I put 5 of 10 because of the coaching uncertainty. And you're starting to see Texas State rise up. You're starting to see JMU rise up, who came from the FCS ranks. So I might be being a little harsh. What would you say? State of the program at Louisiana.
I don't even think you're being harsh. I think 5 is accurate. I mean, Napier was 22-2 in his last 2 years, and they won the league back-to-back years. So for them to be sitting here, in the last 3 years at 23-18, I mean, it's been mediocre. So this is a big year, and I think 5 is accurate.
Yeah, I mean, it could. If we're doing this next year, which, God willing, then I would say they have a great season. Maybe I put this thing at 7 or 8. Win the Sunbelt, maybe even 9. You can ride that momentum.
Yep.
But anyway, look, we're going to jump into every single game on the schedule. And we're going to talk about the win total, what Vegas is expecting. But before we do that, I want to let you know that the college football experience is brought to you by Circa's Ultimate Fantasy Football Giveaway. Yes, Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas is giving away the ultimate fantasy football experience for anyone with a 12-person league. Even if you got a 14-person league, you cut 2 people out of you just say, it's a 12-person league. We'll take his phone calls, right? For a 12-person league to draft in Vegas and be treated like VIPs for their stay. So even if you have a 14-team league, you go to Vegas with 12 of your guys. When it gets to that guy's pick, you just call them. And you don't even tell them, we're over here. You don't even say you're in Vegas. But what a great deal, man. You'll get a limo ride. You'll get picked up from the airport in a limo, which I guarantee you will have booze. $5,000 bar tab, not only a food and drink tab at Stadium Swim. And if you haven't seen fucking Stadium Swim at the Circa in downtown Vegas, first off, they have the biggest sports book in the world, but they also have this gigantic pool with 1 million screens. I was talking to the bet detective, CJ Sullivan, the host of the Bottom Line Bomb show today, and he's staying right now at the Circa in Vegas. He was just at Stadium Swim like an hour before I talked to him. He was saying it was incredible, the scenery. And you know what I mean when I say scenery. All right. So you want to go. They're also going to cover a hotel stay for you and your 11 league mates. You can always get 15% off at all the Circa properties, by the way, too, as with the promo code SGP15. So even if you're not planning to go for fantasy football, SGP15, go to Circa. Enter the Ultimate Fantasy Football Contest today. Get this for free at sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. That's CIRCA. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/circa. We're also brought to you by Rhythm. You probably heard me talk about Rhythm before, but get this. They just dropped a game-changing new feature called Power Trends. These are AI-detected patterns where Rhythm's model is consistently won and has a high ROI. Think like a strikeout prop that has a 59% winning percentage there with the line and win probability hit a certain range. So it's fire. Power trends are updated daily and exclusive to Rhythm. No touts, no noise, just clean data-backed bets. All right. Download the Rhythm app. Check out the power trends and start betting smarter. You know we will be. Also, get your free 7-day trial period. sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. That's RITHMM. That's sportsgamblingpodcast.com/rhythm. We're also brought to you by MyBookie.ag. Yes, MyBookie is your place to bet on the NBA Finals and Stanley Cup, NHL Stanley Cup there. For the true G-Gens, too, the MyBookie money bag is a blast. Look, MyBookie accepts customers from a ton of different locations as well. You can easily deposit, get lightning-fast payouts using crypto. So head on over to MyBookie.ag and use our promo code when you do, TCESGPN. They're going to give you a 100% deposit match up to $1,000. Of course, terms and conditions apply. Once again, that's MyBookie.ag, promo code TCESGPN. All right, we are back. And let's talk about this schedule. We're going to go game by game on the schedule, talking Ragin Cajun football. And it starts with this. The Rice Owls, Scotty Abel. Yeah, that's the preview we're going to be doing in about an hour from now or 45 minutes from now. I have Rice as the most interesting team to watch in college football this year. They're my number one, and I guarantee you I'm probably the only person who covers college football that would probably say that. But I really do. I'm fascinated that they're going triple option, and I'm curious to see how it will work. I think it will work long term. Year one is kind of always the mystery year. You look back at some of the coaches that have installed the triple. It normally takes a year for a lot of, with the exception of Paul Johnson, who got it rolling right away at Georgia Tech, if memory serves me correct. It's going to be interesting. They kept the DC though. They kept or maybe he was co-DC, but they promoted him. So Rice had a good defense a season ago. The offense, I got no fucking idea how fast they'll be able to get this. At least they had spring. But once they get this, they are going to be a bowl team every year, in my opinion. It just matters when. This is the 1 year, and obviously game one is when you want to face them. Because I've been around option coaches. I've been around a lot of coaches, and I know the timing is the key. Bud Foster would tell me that. Bud Foster, legendary Virginia Tech defensive coordinator, if you didn't know. He was in a conference taking on some of the best coaches that we've ever seen in this game, whether it's Dabo Swinney, whether it's the Miami teams that were nasty with Edgerrin James and everybody, or Virginia or West Virginia with Rich Rod, and he respects all those coaches. I'm probably forgetting some coaches too, by the way. Bobby Bowden, right? He was going up against Bobby Bowden and stuff. But I asked him, and I had no idea he was going to answer this question. I just said, Who was the team you wanted to face like the least, that you were like, fuck? I thought he was going to say Miami because of the depth, when you had like just 5 NFL running backs and like 5 NFL wideouts. He didn't say that. He was like, honestly, man, Georgia Tech, man. He was like, that shit. He goes, you play that shit, you never know where the ball is, right? They're on point on their blocks. And then he said, the timing, you can't simulate it in practice. He was like, we would try. Like, we knew we would play in Georgia Tech. We were like, man, we would take our scout team and tell them, we would give them like a 3 weeks of notice, the scout team. He was like, you still couldn't get it to that point.
Yeah.
Right. But that's the thing, is that year 1, though, the timing, it's not there. Normally it's year 2 when it really starts to click. So that's why I actually probably will take Louisiana, even though I want to take Rice because I love the fact they're going triple option. I think Louisiana's going to catch them. This series goes back, by the way, quite a ways. 104 years old they've been playing Rice and Louisiana. Love it. What are you doing here?
Well, the line's 14.5 is what the chat's saying.
I will take the points, though, because I'll tell you one thing about Rice football and triple option football. It bleeds the fucking clock. You might have like 6 possessions in this fucking game.
I was going to agree. Yeah, limited possessions, but I'll take Louisiana. I don't think Rice is there offensively yet. And to your point, I think I was a freshman, and we made the high school playoffs, and we were playing a team that was a triple option team. They said, all right, all the freshmen over there, you're going to be the scout team this week. And all we did was practice a fucking triple option. That shit is hard to run, man. Even when
dude, I played on the defensive side of the ball, and you're disciplined. Yeah. So like you have to stay in your lanes, and that shit over the course of a game. That's why, to me, it never should have went away. I mean, it never fully did, because the service academies and Georgia Tech and Paul Johnson and a couple other teams, like Nebraska, should have never ditched it, because they would have had dominant years continuously. But it makes you so disciplined mentally, of like, God damn it, they do this fake fullback, part of the triple option. They fake it to the fullback dive every time. I'm sick of biting on the fake fullback dive. He doesn't have it. Yeah. I'm going with the running back. And then guess what happens? It's a numbers game. You finally go with that running back. It's the fullback fucking dive, and that's a 70-yard touchdown. So, I mean, Mike Leach was a huge proponent. I asked him, he was a good friend of ours, and rest in peace to Coach Leach. But I was like, dude, what's your favorite offense ever? And he was like, triple option. He goes, I modeled the air raid after the triple option. He was like, triple option is the greatest offense ever. It will always be a part of football, unless this is, probably in like 2018 or 19 when I asked him this, but he was gone before these rule changes. But I'm glad to see this happening with Rice. But yeah, give me 1-0. Give me 1-0 for these Ragin Cajuns.
Yep.
You too, right?
Yeah. And then I like the next one.
The next one, love the next one.
Yeah.
Absolutely love the next one, because I love in-state battles. And I've been to a game there in Lake Charles as well. Now, I'm intrigued. They're facing another a brand new coach, but like not a brand new coach, if that makes sense. Like he's been coaching, in Louisiana, I think, for a long fucking time. But it's his first year at McNeese.
Golf.
No, golf got canned. It's
Viter.
Yes, yeah. And he's the former. He coached, dude. The guy's been like everywhere in Louisiana. Like he's been at like 1 million stops in Louisiana. He's a bit of a legend there. How fast will he get it going? But I love the game. I'm going to say 2-0.
Yeah, this is a tricky game, but yeah, 2-0.
I love it though. I fucking love the game on the schedule. Yeah.
They hate each other. Remember in basketball, they always got into it?
Oh yeah. They've been playing since 1951. So college football at its best. Week 3, they head to Columbia, Missouri. And as much as I'm not bullish on Missouri this year, and I think you'll hear me say that later in the year, but I still think this is Missouri's a lot more talented than Louisiana, specifically this year. If it had been last year's Louisiana team, maybe they'd be live. I got Louisiana losing this, so I got them 2-1. How about you?
Yeah, I got Missouri too.
All right, we're eye to eye here. Week 4, they are at Eastern Michigan. Man, Crosby Field, man. Max Crosby donating a bunch of money. I'm high on Chris Creighton. I had him my number 1 ranked coach in the MAC, and this game is fucking dangerous for Louisiana, man.
Yeah,
you take a spot.
So
this was a hard one for me to analyze because EMU has beaten a lot of Power 5 teams. I think Rutgers, Purdue, Illinois. I think they caught Minnesota too one year. Now, for whatever reason, when they've gone down to Sunbelt teams, they've had trouble with the speed of the Sunbelt teams. But at the same time, you're telling me Louisiana's coming off the body blow that is at Mizzou back-to-back away? Give me an upset. Give me Eastern Michigan to win this thing. I think Louisiana will be favored.
EMU's got Kentucky the week before, so they're both
coming off the blows.
Both coming off SEC. Give me Louisiana just because I think they have better athletes. Close game though. This is a tricky spot. I think they split this double road trip before Sunbelt play.
So you got them what? 4 was
3-1.
3-1. I got them at 2-2. Now the rematch of the Sunbelt Championship, but it's a little different. With Tony Gibson coming into Marshall. I got Louisiana winning this one, man. So I got them with that 3-2. I think Marshall's kind of a mystery team in this conference this year. I feel like I know what Louisiana is. I feel like I know what most of the teams are. Marshall's kind of a mystery team to me. Marshall's capable of beating you. They keep a good program, no matter the coach. Whether it was Doc Holliday, whether it was Pruitt back in the day. Yeah. What are you doing here?
I'm going to go Louisiana at home. Year 1 of Tony Gibson. I think a little bit of a transition year, just from a culture standpoint. He's more of a build a program kind of guy. So yeah, give me Louisiana 4-1.
Yeah, 3-2 for me, but I agree. And then they got a nice bye week there. The Ragin Cajuns do. And it's a good bye week because out of the bye week, they're heading to Harrisonburg. They're going to lose this fucking game. It's the first ever matchup with these two schools. They're going to lose this. I feel very good about saying that. JMU, to me, yeah, Bob Chesney has this program going. So that would put me at their 3rd loss. I got them, 3-3? Is it 3-3?
Yeah, I got them at 4-2. I got JMU. I'm not picking against JMU in Harrisonburg.
It's a strange trip too, man. Yeah. They never done it before. First ever meeting. Like, where the fuck are we going? Flying into Dulles Airport? What's going on? Taking a bus? What are we doing here? After that, they host Southern Miss. Now, I got to admit, we did the Southern Miss preview. Go listen to it, and I was nervous. I thought on that show, I think I said Louisiana is going to catch them. Part of the benefit of and sometimes this can be to your own detriment, is when you're previewing the early teams, you haven't had a chance to preview the other teams yet. Spend hours breaking these things down, building these slides, and just diving into games. A lot of times when I'm building slides, I put the previous season on my TV screens. I got like 8 TVs here, so I put a bunch of the games on. So you start to really kind of get into it a little bit more than you previously were. In hindsight, I actually think Southern Miss is going to win this game. I know it's a rematch. You're basically playing Marshall of last year, which you got thumped by in the Sunbelt Championship. But they got the Jimmies and Joes from last year's championship team going to Southern Miss. Louisiana's team graduated or transferred. I'm on Southern Miss. I'm changing my pick, man. It's easy. As our former president said, he said these fine words right here.
I think tide turning, as I remember, I was raised in the desert, but tides kind of it's easy to see a tide turn. Did I say those words?
Did I say those words? I mean, it's a great game, great rivalry. Goes back to 1923, but I think Southern Miss is going to win this game. So give me another loss for Louisiana. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I had Louisiana winning in the Southern Miss, but then I looked more and more to Southern Miss has a weeknight game the week before, so they have the extended rest too. I think I made Benedict as well and take Southern Miss with just more experience. So yeah,
it's easy to see a tide turn.
Yeah. So what do I got him at right now? 4, 3 and 4, is it?
I got him 4 and 3.
3 and 4. Then you head to Troy, Alabama to take on Gerard Parker and these Troy Trojans. This series goes back to the 1940s, 1946 to be exact. All right, I'll take Louisiana. I mean, Troy is one that I was not impressed with last year. Can he turn that corner? Year 2, there's always improvement. But I think Louisiana's talent is still better than Troy's right now. So give me a dub here to get us to 4 and 4. How about you?
I have a dub as well. I got him at 5 and 3. Troy's still a work in progress and back-to-back road spot. Now they go to Mobile.
Yes, might as well just stay in Alabama there. Taking on South Alabama. Obviously, South Alabama started their football program not long ago, so the series only goes back to 2012. But this is interesting. Had Gio Lopez and Fluff Bothwell returned for South Alabama, I would be all over the Jags. But they left, which has me concerned. But damn, that offense was flying for Major Applewhite last year. You know what? I still think the back-to-back number. I mean, a few years ago, I did a number. I want to say it was like it was during COVID where I went through like the past 5 years of college football. Now this is pre-portal and everything, but I want to say you lose the back-to-back away game at like a 92% rate based on 2019 and 18, right? I'm sure that number's gone up though. I'm sorry, gone down because of the portal, because it's probably a little trickier to get your roster together. However, give me South Alabama. I think they're going to get bit by one of these road teams. What are you doing here?
Yeah, I like the Jags here. I think they'll split this road trip, and it'll be a 1 and 3 4-game stretch. So, what's that? 5 and 4, 5 and 4 for me.
Yeah. 4 and 5 for me. Then Texas State comes to town. This is tricky. Texas State's a team that's emerging out of this. I look. Part of me wants to call for the upset in Louisiana because I know that home environment's good. I just think Texas State's a better team, so I'm going to say loss here too. I mean, I know that Ragin Cajun fans are going to be pissed at me, but what are you doing here?
I'll take the Ragin Cajuns. I don't think they're going to lose the Southern Miss home game and Texas State, so I think they'll split the home games, and I got them at 6 and 4. 6 and 4.
And I got them at 4 and 6.
Oof.
But you get a bye week there. Look at that. Jake Delhomme right there. Then you are at Arkansas State. There's a chance Butch Jones could be fired if he doesn't have shit together by this point. I don't think he will be, but there's a chance. Give me an upset. Give me the Ragin' Cajuns to get him. 5 and 6. What are you doing here?
I'll take the Ragin' Cajuns as well.
Especially if he's fired or something. They're
Thursday night game. It's already an ESPN game. They already got it scheduled. I like the Ragin' Cajuns to finish strong here. Fight for their guy, man. Fight for one of their own.
Yeah. Shout out to Chris Gray. I think he's trying to say Texas State's never beaten Louisiana.
Yeah.
Interesting. Chris, are you a Louisiana Ragin' Cajun fan? Because if so, that's awesome.
Hell yeah.
Then you got to end the season, the Battle of the Bayou. Louisiana and ULM. I'll take Louisiana at home to win this, to go bowling. 6 and 6 is what I got Louisiana at. I could see one more win there. I'm going to say their ceiling to me is 7 and 5. Or not ceiling. I mean, theoretically ceiling some of those games. But I'd say ceiling is probably 8 and 4. But I think they'll be between 6 and 7 wins.
I got to finish in with 3 straight, 8-4. I guess
wow. Well, guess what that number is in Vegas? 7.5. I got them 6-6. Now they're plus 500 to win the Sunbelt. They're plus 1,500 to make the college football playoffs. I have my questions, man. I just think, now I will say that, I actually think there's a path for 5 and 7. If they don't beat Arkansas State, or maybe they lose to Arkansas State, but they beat Eastern Michigan.
Yeah. There's a lot of toss-up games. This is Sunbelt.
What is the Philly Jays asking? What's the floor? To me, the floor, they'll win 4 games no matter what.
Yeah.
I say 4-8, just like you're saying, Philly J. Now, on the flip side of that coin, what is the ceiling? I think it's 8-4. I can't see them at 9-3.
I mean, outside of JMU and Missouri, what's a guaranteed loss?
I'm just saying they have 6 returning starters, though.
Hey, program continuity, baby.
You might be right. I'm on the under. He's on the over. There's some carnage for you.
There's Ragin Cajuns.
I don't think I'll be locking. I mean, I might lock this up. I'll tell you that, because 7.5. I'm a game and a half under that. I feel pretty decent about the under. So in the locks episode, I'll put it like that. We'll see what as the season builds up when I preview some of the other teams on the schedule, but I feel pretty decent about the under here. I'm not going to lock it up. We did lock up 2 other ones. Go listen to the other 5 episodes we dropped. But guess what, folks? We're going to preview Rice in 25 minutes. So buckle up. In the meantime, here's that schedule for you once again. How about that, though, Mac? They have 2 sets of back-to-back aways.
Yeah.
That's another thing I think that factors in there. Back-to-back away is tough. You can make a case. You can make a case that every team they'll play on the road minus Troy. And possibly even Troy, because Troy's been a good program over the years. But what? Missouri obviously goes bowling. They'll be bowling this year, I would assume. Eastern Michigan goes bowling often with Chris Creighton. I think last year they were 5 and 7, but
that's a huge game.
It really is. That's
if you think they're going to beat Eastern Michigan, and then if they can get the Texas State or Southern Miss home game, then I think they can get to 8.
But I was going to make the point, though, that because South Alabama was a bowl team, Arkansas State was a bowl team. I was going to say the road schedule is kind of brutal for them. I kind of got this year, I think, Missouri, Eastern Michigan, JMU, South Alabama, Arkansas State probably going to be bowl teams. Troy's the only one, but Troy could, and maybe Arkansas State falls off, or maybe EMU falls off. I don't know, but it's a tricky schedule. Anyway, tricky within the Sunbelt, if I may say.
Yeah.
I'm on the under. He's on the over, folks. The Rice Owls preview's coming right up. 25 minutes. All right, I gotta just go refill, get another cocktail. But make sure you give Moneyline Mac a follow on Twitter at Moneyline_Mac. I'm on Twitter at DColBD. The College Football Experience is on Twitter at TCE on SGPN. So check us out. And don't forget, you can watch the show, youtube.com/The College Experience. We've been doing this shit for years, home of our college basketball. If you're a Louisiana Ragin Cajun basketball fan, love their basketball stadium, which is right by the football stadium. Let's get it going. Basketball, we're live every night of the season. College baseball, Louisiana's got a good program there too. Shout out to Caleb Root as well. Said Spotify listener here. Just want to let you boys know that I've been listening for years and love the show. Great distraction at work. Thank you, Caleb. Appreciate you tuning in. But youtube.com/The College Experience. Get on over there, hit that like and subscribe. It helps us, folks. All right. Till next time. This is the College Football Experience, Ragin Cajun style. You better start thinking about yours. And we are out of here.
Yeah. I know I'm out of my mind. I've lost my mind. I'm just ahead of my time. tricks the body thinks the body's crazy.
Rockin' at first was hell without rocker. I pop up in spots, they screaming new clockwork. I'm dilated, the fuck off, I ain't doing it. Before weathermen dropped, they thought I might have ruined it. Elusive, I just deny rumors. Smile and give punchlines with dry humor. See what the future brings. In 03, I got on MTV. Time is bug, that's the message I'm sending them. Sign with Slug and survive beef with Eminem. I mention different events in my sentences. It's dangerous to reminisce or remember it. And still it's evidence, check 1, 2, 1, 2. Less punches and spit what I've been through. I stayed here, got booed, but kept rapping. The same year got sued by Kurt Matlin.